Damon.
That's Kevin.
We're Implicitly Biased.
Before we get started, I want everybody to see what we has on. I got Master Yoda. He has Baby Yoda.
The child.
Kachiga. That's gonna Kachiga?
No, that's copyrighted by Disney. I mean, so is Yoda. And
exactly. So I'm just paying homage. That's our today's little snap phrase. Anyways, all right. So we're going to continue on with
we got part 3 of our top 5 lists.
Part 3, and so
this is the events that we would like to see, present or past.
Yeah, to be either like a witness to or be there actually in the event doing it or something of that nature. So
yes.
These are the top 5 events. You ready?
Let's do it.
You go first.
All right. I would really like to see the Hindenburg blow up. Because I imagine that it was spectacular.
I'm pretty sure it was, yes, it was a spectacular sight, but I'm pretty sure it was terrifying.
Absolutely.
Like, absolutely terrifying.
Absolutely.
And you want to see something.
I want to see it.
Like, the most terrifying event in most of those people's life.
Yeah, in those people's lives. Because on the scale of terrifying things, it's probably not nearly the most terrifying thing.
If you're in the Hindenburg, it probably...
Yeah, but there's only like 12 or 14 people in the Hindenburg, so...
It doesn't matter. If you're one of those people, it would probably be the worst thing. You feel this immense heat. Yeah.
Not compared to the nuclear bombs, the atomic bombs. Those are way worse than a little bit of fire that was on a balloon floating in the air.
I doubt they felt too much of anything to people who actually got hit by the bomb. I think it was kind of just like a boom, they're gone.
The direct people, but not the survivors.
Or like the people with radiation. Yeah, you're right. So the Hindenburg, that's your event that you want to see.
I would like to have seen it, yes.
Okay. I mean, I can't hate you for that. That's what you want to do. But the videos of it, the ones that like you see online, the black and white ones.
Yeah.
That does look crazy. Just how fast that fire just spread.
Well, because it all stems from chemistry,
right?
And watching hydrogen go off.
Right.
That's a hydrogen explosion, not an explosion, but hydrogen burning off.
Right.
And whatever it was coated with, whether it be thermite or whatever was coating the skin of it,
right,
just accelerated everything. So
well, didn't they say there was something like zinc or something in it, and that has like a reaction with the hydrogen, so it makes it burn a specific way or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mythbusters did a whole thing on it.
Yeah.
And that was on a thermite-ish episode. So.
Yeah. Well, all right. There's your event. Weird, but okay. I think the weird thing about mine is I think almost all of mine are like either ancient history or in some way related to the Bible, except for one. So just get ready. Here we go. David and Goliath. I want to see that.
That'd be a good match. I
want to see like what actually happened, how tall Goliath was, like, you know, how fast David's sling, like if it was like a bullet, like pow, and it just like knocked him out. I want to see like all that happen. When you hear the little conversation that they have between one another, I just want to see it all. I think that would be an interesting event in history to just like put your actual eyes on, just to see what all really happened. See how tall, you know, Goliath compared to David was. Mm-hmm. Like, if it was like seriously like
5'6" versus 6'6",
or if it was
8
like
or 9 feet,
right. Yeah. If he was like seriously a giant, and compared to David, he really was like a little grasshopper or something. Yeah. That'd be dope to see. So I don't know. I think that'd be a nice event just to put my eyes on. Yeah.
Along those lines, my number 4 I would like, as morbid as it is, to actually see the presidential assassinations.
All of them?
Well,
even the attempts?
Regardless. No, just assassinations, to see what really happened. Nobody really knows what happened in the JFK one. It was on the grassy knoll, or it was this, or, you know.
But do you think being there will give you...
I would like to see it to be able to see. I wouldn't want to just be standing in the crowd. I want to see the truth point of view. Who actually did it and who conspired to do it.
So you want to be like the alien or something, where you're like up in a spaceship and you're like, oh, there's a body there and there's a...
I want to see, like, when it happens, look at who actually did it and...
see where they were in relation to everything.
Exactly, and who hired them and all that. I think that would be neat to know the truth. So not just be some bystander and watch his head pop.
Right.
Because I've already seen that.
Right.
But to see the truth point of view, the actual who did it, who done it.
And then for all of them, or just for JFK?
JFK and Lincoln. We know who pretty much did Lincoln, but
right. He was proud
the
about
actual real why behind it and everything, and that one, because there was no cameras back then.
So you're going to take a video camera with you to this event?
I'll have my iPhone. Record in 1080 or 4K. We're going.
You're like in the other one, like, it's about to happen. Everybody's looking at you like, what is he doing? That weird guy up there.
Then I'll get tackled.
Then you're going to be the one blamed for it and you get shot. Okay, well. And then you don't want to see any of the ones that almost happened? That almost got, just the ones that got killed?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds fun, I guess. All right. So, number 4, I want to see the building of the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid, like the first one. I want to see, because there's so much mystery around it. There's so many, obviously there's weirdos that think aliens did it. Like anything that they can't explain in history or anything that they don't want to give credit to certain people, they automatically say, oh, it must have been aliens. Like, there were, just as intelligent as people are today, they were that intelligent back then.
Absolutely.
If not more intelligent. So it drives me up the wall when people just try to go down the easy road. And I just want to see how they actually did it. I want to see if it was all just slave labor. I want to see if it was they used winches or if they used the big dirt mounds like people thought. I mean, I want to see exactly how it was actually done. I want to see if they used beasts of burden. I want to see if there was something like that, like on one of the fictional movies, they had like them using like mammoths or something like that. So I just wonder if it was, how they built it. And then I heard a story the other day. Somebody was doing like the time, like how time like lays out and whatever. And like Cleopatra, she was pharaoh of Egypt towards the end of their reign, or the strength of their power. And she's actually closer in time to the invention of the iPhone than the building of the Great Pyramid.
Okay.
And that's freaking crazy. Like when you think about it, like she's actually closer to our time than she was to the building of the Great Pyramid.
How long it took.
Yeah, and so like I kind of want to just go back to that time and just watch it. Just it probably takes 14, 15 years for me to see it from start to finish, but I would like to,
in like fast mode.
Yeah, like do it like with the speed up thing. But I would love to see it. And like I guess they accredit to a guy named I'm probably saying it wrong. It's like Imhotep, but that's who's like credited with designing it or whatever. I want to just like go talk to him and be like, hey, dude, so what's going on? What's this all about? It can't be just a tomb. Is it like a signal or something?
So maybe aliens didn't build it, but it was to call them. Definitely.
Yeah, something like that. They didn't build it, but is it like I don't know. But it would just be interesting to.
Because they actually have pyramids all over the world.
Yeah, there's pyramids all over the place.
Having such similar designs indicates that we would have had to circumnavigate before they thought that that people would have circumnavigated.
Well, the thing I think is so, like, to me, that I think is kind of stupid about that is you see the human nature, the human heart, and the way we are. Do you think that people who had the mindset or the ingenuity to think up, I want to build a pyramid, and the way I'm going to design it is there's going to have tunnels in it, and they thought of all this stuff, but they couldn't figure out how to get in a boat and go on the ocean. Right. Like the arrogance that we have to think that
as modern people,
they couldn't build a boat that could sail that. Why?
Right.
Why wouldn't they be able to build a boat that could sail anywhere they wanted to go? I mean, they might not have a motor, or they might have a motor, might have a bunch of slaves in the bottom rowing it. But there's just so much evidence to suggest that, like you said, that it wasn't just this one little land bridge that everybody who was in their bearskin rugs, walking across. I mean, how do you think the Aboriginal people of Australia got there?
Right.
They didn't walk to Australia.
Oh, and they didn't just happen in Australia.
You know what I mean? And then my thing is when they're like, well, there was probably a big storm and one guy got stranded or one boat got taken. So you're trying to tell me all the people there, or just because of a happenstance event, like, come on, like they went there on purpose. Yes. They went there because they knew there was land there, and
they may not have known it, but they discovered it.
They found out that there was land there, and then they went there. You know, and I hate the fact that and it's been proven they've actually done recreations of for the Pacific Islander people, the Polynesian people. They've actually recreated a lot of what they think the old boats would have looked like, and they've actually sailed to all these islands using the old methodology. And I'm like, well, if we can recreate it, then and people are there. Why would we think that there was like, oh no, there must have been aliens, or it must have taken them thousands and thousands? It's just hard.
Or even like the Vikings with their boats. Initially, they were small and they were only jumping locally, but on those same boats, they learned how to cross the Atlantic of all places, as harsh as that is.
Yep. Well, the thing that gets me is, I just think we automatically think, because of where we are and because of the technology we have, we think that humans weren't brilliant back then.
Yeah.
We think that the benefit that we have that they didn't have is, one, we all kind of information is stored much better than it ever was stored back then. And information was shared much better than it was back then. Yeah. So even if one culture had the ability to do this, and this, that doesn't mean all the cultures. Like nowadays, if trying to get something, we're going to get it pretty soon. Yeah. You know what I mean? If we get something, Russia's going to get it pretty soon. Like, no matter what it is, it's going to be global really soon. You know what I mean? And back then, things took a lot longer to get global. But that doesn't mean people were any less brilliant, any less hungry, any less thirsty for knowledge, any less, driven to go beyond. People were just the same. So
if not more, because they were actually discovering a lot of, because we keep discovering things, but I don't think that we're discovering things on a level that has already been discovered.
Right. I agree with you on that. Well, we talked a lot about that. So.
Yeah, we did. So,
all right.
Number 3, any space launch, any of them.
Like up there with them, or like at the ground?
No, I want to watch any of them at ground level.
So like from
like right there, as close as I can possibly get. I want to watch any of the Apollos take off, any of the shuttles take off, because in modern age, I've watched almost all of the SpaceX stuff take off and crash and learn from that and land the boosters and all that. It's so exciting watching like the whole event. Right. So being there in person would probably be pretty spectacular.
And make your day, huh?
Yeah.
Remember that thing that I think it was Jeremy Clarkson?
The cloud thing?
Yeah. I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Like it makes a cloud. I don't know. Isn't that like a thruster or something?
It has. I'm pretty sure it's just a rocket booster.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I would love to see that. And it makes its own rain. And he's like, NASA can make the weather. But it's kind of dope. They actually made a cloud. That's pretty amazing. So that's dope. All right, my number 3 is Thermopylae. I'd like to see the battle at Thermopylae. 300 Spartans versus 1 million Persians, and it really was. It was a lot more than just 300 Spartans. Like, I mean, we think it was just 300 Spartans.
Well, that's what the story
is, but no, it was a whole bunch of the Greek city-states had sent soldiers to guard the pass. So it was a bunch of people there. But still, it would be just dope to see. Again, David versus Goliath, and just to see how they handled it and see, what really happened there and how they were really betrayed. Because I mean, we got a third-hand story of what went down there, and obviously it's going to it serves to bolster the mythos of the Spartans and all that kind of stuff. But I want to see what really actually factually happened, just like you were saying about the presidential assassinations.
Yeah.
Like we hear like different versions of it, but you want to see what actually happened right then, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. So that's what I want.
Morbidly, and on that same note, what do they do with all those bodies?
I know,
because that's just a lot of meat stacked up.
Like the coyotes and the wolves were like, dude, I'm full. I don't want.
Yeah, the smell in the whole area would have been terrible.
People
I couldn't fathom that.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And the same thing in the World Wars.
Oh man,
the amount of death that was there.
Jesus, I don't even want
unfathomable.
To imagine. Yeah, don't even want to imagine. Civil wars and all of it.
It was terrible. How did the cleanup from that happen?
Yeah, the blood.
And could you imagine the businesses that started from cleaning that up?
Oh God, I wouldn't want to be in that business. Weird. Yeah, I mean, but it has to.
It has to.
It's a necessity. So that even if it's just a what are those a wartime business where it only lasts for a year or whatever. It's still a necessity because I mean, oh God, just the biohazard. Just people when you get shot or when you die, you lose your functions down there. So you're pissing and you're defecating and throwing up. Mm-hmm. So the smell of vomit, the smell of blood, decay. Oh, gee, and then things that are rotting flesh and gangrene and oh my Jesus, yeah.
Clean it with fire.
I'm pretty sure that's what they did most of the time.
They had to have done a lot of it, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Man, I didn't think about that, but ugh.
Now you always think about it.
Yeah, I don't want to go. I changed my mind. Your turn.
I would really like to see New York being built.
Oh, yeah.
Or even Chicago. All those big American cities rising from nothing.
Rising from the Indian tribal land that they just murdered all the Indians off of.
You're right.
But rising
from the dirt.
Rising from the blood-soaked dirt of our people that suffered, bled, and died.
Yeah, all them.
Both of those cities were literally like stolen.
Like all of them.
But I mean, those specifically were like big deals. Like Chicago is actually derived from a native word meaning something to do with wind or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Chicago or something. I don't know. But anyways,
I would like to see those go up, like the Empire State Building. I would like to see it be built. All of the big buildings.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty fantastic to see.
Yeah,
the engineering that's gone into them.
Honestly,
and how fast they go up is pretty amazing. Because as big as they are compared to the pyramids are bigger structures, but they're not as tall.
Right.
And they go up relatively fast.
Right.
Within parts of a lifetime, not many lifetimes.
Right. And I think one of the things I would like to see is just the different culture, I guess is the only word to say, like of the people throughout the time that it's being built.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it goes from really just like villages until the villages morph into, you know what I mean? Like I would like to see how like the roads change, how they decided to put in the sewer system, how they like at each stage. That would be awesome to see. Like you said, like we were saying, like you do the time lapse thing, you know, and
like that movie, The Time Machine.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like to just sit there and watch that for an hour or two, but sped up throughout time.
I mean, I think I would like stop it every so often and get out and walk around and talk to people, and they'd probably have to run because I'm black, and they'd be like, "Get that boy! Ah!
Wrong time!"
Like, I'll be back. You be dead, but I'll be back. No, I think that would be awesome. That's a pretty good thing to see. So yeah, I'd put that on my list instead of watching a bunch of people die. Okay, so here's another Bible one. I would like to see the crossing of the Red Sea. I'd like to see Moses and the children of Israel. You know, I'd like to see the pillar of fire and everything that's protecting them. And see that, you know, I think, what was it? Something like...
It's like the Eye of Sauron, right?
Yeah, and it's like protecting you. That's exactly what it is. But I don't remember there was an estimate. It was like 200. I don't remember how. There's a lot of people.
We'll say 200. That's good. That's
no. It was not 200. It's like maybe it was like 2 million people or something like that.
It wasn't 2 million.
Somebody said it was 2 million people.
There wasn't 2 million people back then.
There was 2 million people back then.
Yes, that killed them all.
Yeah, and then they repopulated.
Like 62.
They were mating like rabbits back then. Okay, it wasn't no 1 or 2 kids back then.
That brings up an interesting point too. Lots of people say that our generation is a very sexual generation, but they forget their parents had like 14 kids.
But see, no, I think the difference is, and we're going to get on the sidebar on this, I can feel it. But anyways, I think the main difference is that we're more visually sexual than they were. They were much more privately sexual in the fact that they were just banging out all the time. Like they were just in the closet, just going to town with each other. We're more like, oh man, she's naked. Oh, that's beautiful. You know, women walk around, you know, half dressed and stuff, and men walk around with their 8-packs and stuff out. So I think we're more visually sexualized, I should say. Maybe. And they're more just like, let's just get down to business and let's make some babies, honey. You know what I mean?
Well, it had to do with the harsh winters and not having money. And
I'm pretty sure in the hot places they were still doing it too.
Yeah, I had to be in the shade.
I don't think it's just. I know we always say like, well, when it was cold. I'm pretty sure when it was warm, somebody was still getting down with the.
Probably
getting down with the get down.
Okay, let's really back in.
All right, here we go. Here we're back in. Oh yeah, so the Red Sea. No, I just think it would be dope just to see like the waters actually part and like to see a huge group of people. That guy said, I think he said 2 million people.
I don't think so.
Maybe it was 600,000. I don't remember.
You probably got to read the book.
No, it's not. I don't think it was in the Bible. There was a.
It's got to allude to how many.
I don't remember.
Because dude had to hold up his arms. He's not going to hold up his arms for 2 million people.
He didn't stand there the whole time. That was a different event.
Didn't you watch the movie? He stood there like this the whole time.
Fix it in the morning. That's where you get most of your Bible knowledge from. The what is that? Oh,
the cartoon, Moses.
Oh God, have mercy. No wonder why you're confused.
Prince of Egypt.
No wonder why you're confused. But anyways,
there's been some pseudoscience or whatever done that said that the Red Sea could have parted definitely. Like, so science has shown that it could have parted where people could have walked across it.
But they the one that I seen was they were basically saying like it was like tides. It wasn't an actual parting.
Like
it was
splitting of it.
Yeah, and there was like, they would have been walking through muddy water and all, and like the Bible specifically says that they walked on dry land. You know what I mean? So I don't know, like the way they've always tried to. I watched all those like Nat Geo things, and they've always tried to like break down all the events that happened with the children of Israel and Egypt, and the blood was actually algae bloom, and that's the reason that all the frogs and the lice came out. And like they're like trying to connect it out. There was an earthquake that happened, and then there was a volcano, and that's the reason they were firing. Like they're just trying to find any way they could to like not disprove it, but try to scientifically explain something. And I think that most things that happen in the world, God still uses the mechanisms in the physical world to make them happen. Mm-hmm. Like for instance, like when if you need $10 and somebody blesses you with $10, we can't say that, well, God didn't do that, because God put it in their heart to give you $10, even though you didn't ask for it. So that was still God, but he still used the mechanism of a human being to give it to you. He didn't just like magically throw $10 in your wallet, even though he could.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he uses other mechanisms. So I believe that. But I feel like sometimes they stretch too far with that, and they're trying to almost disprove that God had anything to do with it, and it was just happenstance. And I don't buy that garbage. Me personally. I mean, some people believe it. Knock yourself out, but I don't buy it. There is a God. Oh, hallelujah! Don't make me stop. Listen,
Number one.
Listen, Kevin.
Number one.
You can't rush me with Jesus. Hey, you can't rush me with the Lord. You got to stick with Jesus.
Number one.
That's Jesus.
We're going to come back.
He's number one in my life. He's number one. Hallelujah. Oh, Lord. See, that's what happens when you start feeling the Spirit. Anything can happen. Hallelujah. You feeling something? You feel something?
I'm feeling thirsty.
Thank you.
Anyway, number one.
For the Holy Ghost.
We're going to come back to America.
All right, here we go.
And we're going to go back to Utah. Because I want to go to Speed Week in Bonneville.
Oh, yeah. The one where they set the...
all the world speed
all
records.
The records?
Not all of them, because there's actually a few different salt flat races. Mm-hmm. Australia has their own. It's actually... the land space is bigger than Bonneville. But Bonneville is essential to the speed world, period.
Right.
And just the group of dudes and dudettes who go there, just amazing people.
Yeah.
And
the vehicles are freaking amazing, too.
So
the stuff that they have out there is just...
I really want to go to those before I die.
So that's something you're going to do. It's like that's more of a bucket list.
That's definitely bucket list.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dope. Okay. So you going to take me with you?
Yeah, you can go.
But you're not going to take me with you?
I'll take you with.
Yeah?
You probably won't like it, but...
Why wouldn't I like it?
Because there's going to be a lot of white people. I don't know how you feel about them.
I don't mind them. You know, they're not all bad. They're not all bad. Some of them are a credit to their race. That's a jab. Oh, man, that's a good jab. All right, so since you try to take me away from my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I'm not going to stay away from him. I'm coming right back to the one. Number one. As grim as it is, and as I don't know. I guess it's as sad as of an event as it would be. I would like to be there to watch the trying and the trial and the whole shebang of Jesus Christ and the crucifixion and the whole thing. I would like spend that whole week, from the time he rides into Jerusalem and they throw down the palms and they're like all like, yeah, the king has come, and then to fast forward a few days and they're like, kill him, crucify him. Like, I want to see the whole shebang. And again, I know it'll be a gruesome sight and it'll be tough to watch and it'll be sad and it'll be heartbreaking. But man, what a point of reference for your faith. Like when you're reminiscing about, in our minds, it's just saying when we read the scriptures, we just can put it to an imagination kind of thing in the background, but to actually have a actual mental picture to go back to when you're reflecting on his life, oh man, that would just be amazing. The description, and like you were saying earlier, like the smells, the smell of the air, the feeling of tension in the air, like all of that would add to it, and it would be such an amazing event just to witness. Like, even if you were a non-Christian, that would be something that I think would be, for a historical minded person, would be just something you would want to see. You'd have to go and see that just to see if what you thought was real and what you thought was, if it lines up with the way you've always thought about the event.
Or if you've tried to disprove that event your entire life and watch it happen.
Right, exactly. Just the amount of power that must have been displayed there from God, with the making it dark and the earthquake and just like all the things that happened. Like, oh my God, it must have been amazing. And then, like, man, if I was there when he got up, boy, listen, you talking about falling just rolling around. Thank you, Jesus! I'll just roll around, and then probably be like, man, who is this brother here? Like, somebody go get this brother, get him out of the
floor. And then you'd be up on
and then I'd probably, but boy, you talking about, and then when he appeared to the disciples and they were touching him and stuff, he'd be all mad at me. I'd be like, Lord, that's you, Lord Jesus. I've been wanting to touch you. I've been wanting to touch you for years. But anyways, but no, that would be my number one event that I would want to see. I think that'd be, that'd be the tops. The tops. But all right, so on that note, we marked it off. That's our top 5 events we'd like to see. Like, subscribe, share.
Hit the little bell below. That way it reminds you that when we put a new video out, that it's new.
Because we're cool. Thank you.
Peace, we out.
What was?
I guess no, we're not.
No, what's the catchphrase?
Peace, we out. Bye.
What was the one? No, there was one I was thinking about. I can't think. Brain fart.
We're recording up there.
Oh, is it recorded?
Should be. I hope it is. Is it? You can see the little counter. Counting down.
I don't see no counter. I see a red dot though.
Red dot means it's recording.
Are you sure?
I think so. Are you gonna zoom in on
it? I'm gonna do the laziest thing in the world.
It'd be nice if that had a camera or a light on it.
I'm at 7 times the magnification, and all I see is just 2 blurry fat guys sitting in front of a camera.
Okay. Oh, look.
No.
We need to make sure. Oh, yeah. It's been going for a minute.
Oh.
Isn't that neat?
Good. Pinky and the brain. So who would you be? I think I would be the brain.
Yeah. You're definitely smarter than me.
Well, that's a given. But I mean, I think I'm just a little bit more moody. I'm more like, anyways, that's not a subject.